Prince Harry failed to appear in court today for the first day of his trial against the British tabloid publisher.
He is expected, when he does appear, to be the first royal ever to testify in a phone hacking tabloid case and the first royal to testify in any kind of court case in a long time. Harry was still en route from Los Angeles, where he'd spent Sunday celebrating his daughter's birthday. The judge, not happy about this, expressed his displeasure about the Duke's absence. Harry is one of many people suing the owner of the Daily Mirror, which he accuses, it's a British tabloid, by the way, of hacking his phone and illegally gathering information about him to publish stories. The newspaper denies that senior executives were aware of the hacking. They do not deny that hacking occurred.
CBS News royal contributor Amanda Foreman joins us now. Amanda, talk to us, please, if you will, about Prince Harry's absence, the judge's reaction. Why is he so relevant as a witness, given that so many other people claim to have been hacked?
Well, in the British court system, as in the US court system, when the chief witness fails to turn up on the first day of the trial, that sets a very bad precedent for two reasons. The first simply is the discourtesy shown to the court. The second is that, and this is what the Mirror Group complained about, is that it could potentially limit the number of hours that the Duke could be in the witness box. And so that was the chief complaint, that the lateness was deliberate and that it was done in order to enable him to get out of the questioning.
Very interesting, Amanda. As I understand it, the story was that the judge said, hey, we're having open arguments on Monday. If they end early, we're going to go right to you, so you should be there. And Harry was like, nah, we don't think it's really going to happen that way. So he did not rush his way there to sit for a maybe, and it turned out that they were looking for him.
He had a good excuse, though.
He had a good excuse, but I mean, you tell me. I don't think the judge seems to care about the good excuse. That's one thing I would think about. And also, you know, is Harry's accusation against the Mirror the same? Is it nearly identical to the more than 100 others accusing the tabloid of doing this hacking?
Yes. So essentially, the hacking is not that they're listening into phone calls, but that they were actually listening into voice messages. The problem is that the Mirror Group has admitted to hacking some of these other people in the lawsuit. There's actually over 100 of them. But in the case of Prince Harry, there's no actual evidence. There wasn't even a police investigation into this. There's no evidence that his phone was actually hacked.
Now, I can't imagine that he would be the only royal who has either been hacked or is alleging to have been hacked. Why aren't any other of the royals involved in the lawsuits?
Well, Prince Harry claims that there was a separate lawsuit that was quietly settled between the royal family and some of the newspapers who hacked them in it, and that a huge sum was paid by the Murdoch Group, News International. The News International denies this. So the truth is, it's actually very difficult to hack the phone of the royal family. They have the highest security possible. I mean, I'm sure that there are rogue countries out there who could probably hack their phone, but not an ordinary journalist.
But, you know, if I cast my mind back to the days when this hacking stuff was front page news, as I recall, it wasn't a complicated hack. It was calling into the phone number of that royal and then guessing the password on the voicemail box.
The 4-digit
Yeah,
PIN.
and, you know, just guessing it. And if you got it, lucky you. And then you would listen to all the information and they would never know. But I want to go back to what you said earlier about the lack of evidence that hacking occurred on Harry's phone. Prince Harry's phone there. I want to give him the honorific. He's earned it. Why do you think he is so up in arms about this, to the extent that he's going to file a lawsuit and appear, which is unusual for a royal, given that, as you say, there's no evidence that this actually happened?
Well, for Prince Harry, you have to remember this is one of 3 ongoing lawsuits he has at the moment against British tabloids, and it's one of 7 that he has and the Duchess have launched against US and British outlets since 2019. So this is his lifelong campaign, if you want to call it that, for very good reasons. For him, it's a win-win situation. He doesn't have to win this lawsuit in order to punish these tabloid owners. the amount of money they have to pay, it's in the hundreds of millions. The bad publicity, the precedent that he is setting. So, you know, he will come out of it winning no matter what. And the defense that all these tabloids have is what we call the Bob Marley defense, which is, you know, I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. So yes, they admit, all of them admitted that they have, you know, done these things in the past, but not to him.
Which is just an unusual, but it would be unusual for him to launch this campaign, as you call it, on, you know, books, interviews, documentary series, and not take it to the courts that would kind of legitimize what he's been fighting against.
Well, the problem is that, as we saw in the South Park parody of the Great Worldwide Privacy Tour, that you know, the more you shout about your privacy, the more you do things like this, you know, it does look hypocritical. So it doesn't do him any favors. And of course, whenever anybody is in court and has to answer questions, any question can come up, and the danger of looking really stupid or being humiliated is very high.
Nothing like that South Park clip, though.
Yeah,
that was good.
I haven't seen it. I'm going to look it up in the commercial break. But
yes,
there is a fine line, and Harry may have ran past it without seeing it. Too faint for him to notice as he rushed past. Amanda Foreman, thank you very much.
You're welcome.